The creator room is now in your ears. What is up, people?
Yeah.
This is our second ever Raw review now. We're in week 2 now. Week 1's over. Still going hard on the show.
Yeah. We took week 1 and now we're going for week 2.
We're getting a little more used to everything now. For those wondering, I put the schedule up in my channel, like a little post of like what the schedule for each episode is gonna be. And I know the first week was a little bit delayed. All I'm gonna say is it was family stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. There was just some family stuff going on, and I was just busy. So like I know the first week was a little delayed. I just wanted to let people know, you know, people who see the schedule on my channel and they're like, why is all the episodes like coming out late? That was just mainly for the first week because I was just busy. So. For the future, I'm gonna try like these episodes out like sooner. There was just a lot going on. That's all. Just wanted to put that out there. People are wondering why the first week's so delayed. That's why. Going forward, I'm gonna try not to do that. I'm not trying to delay it so much. So yeah. Anything you want to say before I talk about the first thing?
Let's get into it.
Okay then. I really enjoyed the first thing at the start of the show, like the Roman Usos like video. That was pretty cool. It was pretty cool camera shots and stuff. It started with it was like a pre-taped video, like promo of Roman and the Usos sitting in like a room, like a dark boardroom kind of at a table, almost like a bloodline meeting, I guess, sort of thing. And pretty much, Roman was saying how like. He tells them they know where he's coming from, where he stands, and the past is the past. He'll leave it at that because they're blood and they're the only ones he can trust. And he doesn't know where Jacob's coming from, and he needs their thoughts. And Jimmy Uso says he understands where Roman's coming from, and he agrees with Jacob wanting to upgrade his life, but not at Roman's expense. Yeah. By the way, I didn't write all this down. I kind of just screen recorded like clips from that the YouTube clips. I'm just like basically reading what they said. Because anyone's wondering how I'm not writing all this down. That's a little crazy. Then Jay says Jacob Fatu's unpredictable, unhinged, and they left him out for a reason. If he wins, he'll get it all. He's the shot caller. I don't know. They're pretty much just saying like Jacob needs to fall in line. And Roman says consequences a few times. In a couple times he says consequences. There'll be consequences. And thanks to Usos, and Jay says it's all love and family first, and they do a 3-way handshake. That was the first thing. It was pretty fun. It was intense. It was very intense and serious. Serious vibes. It was fun. You have anything to say about that? That was pretty much the whole beginning.
I think falling to the grace. I think Jimmy is going back to his old ways with the bloodline. Yeah,
it seems like it.
I see the patterns of it and how.
Jay was the right hand man when Jimmy was injured. Dave was the right hand guy.
Yeah, and he's slowly going back into that role.
Yeah. Because Roman did so much to his head. Like Roman had played so much mind games with him in the pandemic era for so many years that like Jay's just like he still has all those like he has that manipulation still in his head. Like Roman used to do to him. He still remembers like how it was and stuff, and like he can't get it out of his head. And Roman like mentally abused him for so long. And then Jimmy Uso's always been the one that's like trying to get his brother out of there. Like don't fall for it. Because Jimmy was injured and he wasn't the right hand man during all that time because he was out injured, so like he's not falling for it. Yeah. He basically was from the outside looking in, seeing what was going on, so he knows that to not fall for it and not stand for it.
To me, it seems like sooner or later he's gonna say, "I'm going after your throne again."
Yeah. I just don't want to get Jay versus Jimmy again. You don't need another Usos one-on-one match. They already had a feud. I don't want to see it again. And the match they had at Mania was not that good.
Well, it could be good.
Which is,
If
the right
they do it right.
Yeah. But I remember the match at Mania, everyone was hating on it, and I was one of them. Like, the match they had at Mania was not good. Which is crazy. You would think you would think they're brothers. They would wrestle great together. I don't know. It was just pretty boring.
Yeah. It was a little bit.
Yeah. That was pretty much it for that. Then the next thing, that was like a pre-tape thing. Like the actual in-ring thing that started the show was Seth Rollins entered. He kicked the show off. I got more for him than what he said too. He welcomes us to Monday Night Rollins, with the crowd singing the song like always. And he says there's a reason he lost to Gunther at WrestleMania, and it's not because he was a better man that night. There's a reason Roman's walking around the heavyweight championship, and it's not because Roman pinned his shoulders to the mat. The reasons for these things are one and the same. They have a name, and that name is Bron Breakker. And he says he knows Braun's sitting back there with 9 staples in them, but they have a score to settle. So get your pea brain out here. That's what he said. Then Bron Breakker comes out with Paul Heyman. And then Bron got in the ring and stared Seth down for a long time. And then Seth said he handed the world to Bron Breakker on a silver platter, and he repaid him by taking everything away. And then he said Braun's the reason he had to forfeit the heavyweight title, which is true. He vacated because of the injury. Braun's the reason he didn't make that WrestleMania, and the reason he didn't get his hand raised at Mania this year. And he goes, and what did you get out of it, Braun? How did that benefit you in any way? And then Bron Breakker he starts talking. He says, what does Seth Rollins actually give him and Bronson Reed? Because from Bron's perspective, they just had to put out all his fires, and he needed them to fight all his battles, which was true. When Seth was the leader of the division, he kind of always got them when he was still a heel and stuff. And then Bron said, every week they had to stand there in the ring and listen to Seth recite the same crap. That's what he said. Which Bron, and he says he never needed Seth or the division. The only reason they're standing here today is because he needed Paul Heyman. And then Seth says, if you needed that dried up sack of meat, and Seth says Bron just proved everything he thought about him right. And Seth talks about being the world champion and wanting to fight the best in the world. And this I actually saw live. So Seth mentioned how like he went to NXT and fought Bron years ago. This has actually happened. I actually saw this live. It was like 2-3 years ago. It was when Seth won the heavyweight title the first time. And he was still a babyface. This is back when Bron Breakker was still in NXT. He actually called out Seth for a heavyweight title match, and Seth went down there and defended and retained against him. That actually happened. I saw that live. He actually referenced that, which was pretty cool. He referenced that they have history, but they had a match down there. That's pretty cool to hear him say it.
Yeah.
And then pretty much Bron was saying he was worth putting in the division, and he's a Paul Heyman guy. He says he's clearly the next big money drawing star in the business, and he's seen athletes come through big and strong and fast, but Bron's the biggest, the strongest, and the fastest we've seen in years. And he's got everything to be the next big star, which is true. And Bron is very fast. Like apparently Michael Cole said this once on commentary. Bron runs faster than a car, which is crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
He was a former football player, so I guess he just has the football run. And we saw how fast he ran down the ramp at WrestleMania. That ramp was long, and he got down so quick.
Something bad is coming his way. He has no clue.
Yeah, like a freight train.
Yeah, pretty much. And it says every time Seth has bet on himself, Seth Rollins, it's got in a world title main event, but Bron Breakker did it, and he got Theory and Logan Paul, and a happy ending from Paul Heyman.
It's about to get messy over here. I'm gonna keep it
scrolling down. And then pretty much, this part was funny. Seth Rollins said that was pretty good, Baby Steiner. That was funny. He called Bron Breakker Baby Steiner. And he goes, did you come up with all that on your own, or did you call Paul Heyman for your hookup? And Bron Breakker thinks he's ready. Backlash is 2 weeks away, son, and I'll give you an opportunity to prove that you're ready. And then he says, but he'll let out a little secret that everybody else knows. Seth said this. And Seth says, you're not even the number 2 Steiner in your own family. So basically he was saying that he's third place behind Scott and Rick Steiner. his dad and uncle. He was basically taking shots at his family, being like, "You're third place in the family's son."
Yeah.
That was fun. It got personal. That's pretty much the whole thing.
We must call him the
third wheel. We basically called him the third wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much call him. Yeah, pretty much call him the weakest of them all.
Pretty much. And they actually announced later in the show too. It's officially confirmed now. We're getting Seth versus Bron at Backlash. So that'll be fun. They should look a little graphic later on. The match is happening at Backlash. And like Seth said in the promo, it's 2 weeks away. So in 2 weeks we're gonna see that banger happen. And that'll be our first pay-per-view review. 2 weeks from now, baby. I'm excited. Go. Yeah.
2 weeks.
Honestly, the Backlash card so far looks pretty solid. Like, some of the Mania matches, like, you know, the Mania card looked really good, but like the matches were so short, that was the problem. But like, the Backlash card so far looks pretty solid. Like, the matches on this card look pretty fun so far. For a small pay-per-view, for not one of the big ones, it actually looks like a pretty fun show so far. Looks like a very good show. The matches look really fun on this card so far. I'm excited. I'm actually very excited for the show. For, like, you know, TKO, it's hard to get excited for these shows nowadays. But but the Backlash card actually looks very, very fun. Yeah, that was that. Anything else you want to say?
No, we can. No, we can move on.
Okay. The next thing was a backstage thing. This was brutal. This part. Stephanie Vaquer is walking in the back, and then three members of Judgment Day, like basically the females of Judgment Day, ambushed her and beat her up. It was Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, and Women's World Champ Liv Morgan, and they beat her up like it was crazy. Like basically, Raquel basically sneak attacked her and like punched her in the back of the head. Then like she was holding her down, and Roxanne pushed a crate into her and they basically crushed her stomach. Then Liv Morgan grabbed her by the hair and was yelling in her face. And saying like, this is my title now, and she was just yelling in her face. Fun beatdown, but it was, man was it brutal. That was really that. Oh, and then they said on commentary, Stephanie Vaquer is going to be out for the foreseeable future with an injury. Don't know if it's a storyline injury or not. Not sure. Not entirely sure. Because knowing, like, seeing how brutal that attack was in the back, she might be legit hurt. I don't know. But or it's a storyline injury, and it's a way to stress the feud longer. Maybe they don't want to do the rematch at Backlash. Maybe they want to save for a bigger show, and this is their way to stretch it out longer. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe it's a storyline. I don't know. Or maybe like Stephanie just wants to take some time off. I mean, she was champion for a while. She was here every week. Like maybe she wants some time off, and like this is their way to write her off. And then like now she's got a way to come back and get her rematch for the belt. Who knows? Yeah. This was fun. Enjoyed this. What do you think of it?
Honestly, if she is injured, I hope her recovery comes fast.
Yeah.
Or if it's not, she definitely does need a little break.
Yeah, she was here for every week for a while.
Yeah. Sometimes you need a break.
She's been grinding.
Right. Yeah, because your muscle needs a break of it.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
That was that.
Alright.
What is next?
Yeah, let's move along.
Alright then. Here we go. Alright, next match. So, next, Intercontinental Champion Penta versus Rusev happened. It was not for Penta's belt. Like, it was not, he didn't put his title on the line. It was just because, last week Rusev attacked him, so Penta just wanted revenge. It was not a title match. It was just a normal non-title match. And Ethan Page actually came out and watched from ringside since he was also involved in the brawl last week. So Ethan Page came out and watched. Fun match. It went for a little bit. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then, like, kind of toward the end of the match, Ethan Page tried to get involved, but Penta like attacked him away. I was like, no, get out of here. And then Penta won the match. He pinned Rusev and won. Then post match, Rusev and Ethan Page started beating up Penta until Javon Evans came out and saved them. And then Javon and Penta attacked him out of the ring and stood tall, and the babyface stood tall. I feel like this is going to lead to either one of two things. Either a tag match of Penta and Javon, the faces, versus Ethan and Rusev, the heels, like a tag match, or it's going to be a fatal four-way of Backlash for Penta's belt. I think it's going to be one of those two things.
Or a tag team match.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's either going to be that, or it's going to be a four-way for Penta's belt at Backlash. One of those two things. Either that or the tag match. It's leading to one of those two things.
But I feel like it's more leading to the tag team match.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a tag match. Then like, I feel like what's gonna happen is Ethan and Rusev are gonna win. I think they're gonna win by like one of them's gonna pin Penta, and whoever pins him's gonna get a title match.
Yeah.
That's how I think it's gonna go down. Like one of them is gonna pin him to win for their team to win, and like whoever pins him's gonna get a title match because they pinned the champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really it for that. The Intercontinental title picture is pretty stacked right now. There's a lot of strong mid-carders right now for that belt. Like it's a pretty healthy mid-card division. The Intercontinental title division right now. It's pretty stacked of talent actually.
He wants to break others so they can find
enjoying it. It's fun.
And his opponent.
Then so after that there was a backstage thing. Just the Americanos talking. Honestly, like the Americano gimmick, it got stale for me. I don't care. I know AAA Undertaker is like making it good again, but like from what I see of it on Raw, I just don't care. I just got bored of the gimmick. I just want the original Americano to be Chad Gable again. I just miss Chad Gable.
Touring some of the top promotions in the world.
The newer Americano, the skinnier, taller one, like the new Americano is Ludwig Kaiser, who was he used to be like the talker with Gunther.
Yeah.
If the original one, the bigger one, is Chad Gable. And it was pretty much just the Americanos talking in the back about. So apparently they're having a match versus match at Triple H show later this month. They should announce it later on the show. I forgot what the date was. It said, but it's like later this month. It's like toward the end of May. I forgot what date it was. Yeah, that was that. It was the back thing. They were pretty much just hyping up the match. Really all it was. I'll be honest, for this, I honestly wasn't really listening because I don't care about the Americanos. I know, like, you know, you're a podcaster now, you should listen to everything on the show. I know, it's just, I just don't care about the Americanos. I honestly just was getting a drink while this was going on. I just don't care about it. While he was talking, I was always getting a drink in my kitchen. But yeah, but I know the gist of it. It was just them talking about the match versus match. They were just hyping it up. That's all it really was. Wasn't much. There was not much to talk about, but anyway.
Well, no, actually, you did miss a couple. You missed a lot, actually. Pretty much. The new Americano trying to put Ray on his pig side.
Well, yeah, I saw the match with Ray. That I did see. I just missed this part, the backstage thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the new Americano is trying to hit Ray on his side.
Yeah.
On the old Americano.
Yeah, he's trying to get Ray to join this group. But Ray's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, pretty much Ray said, I'm not picking sides, and I think the new Americano cursed him in
First, was he Danhausen now?
No, I saying a bad word to him in Spanish.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Side note, Danhausen I don't think was on the show, which is odd. He's been on like every show. I'm surprised he wasn't on this one. I guess he's doing it the Miz on SmackDown. That's probably why.
Yeah, he already has the target.
True. Yeah, that's true. Anything else?
Now we can move along. Let's go.
Alright, here we go, next match. So, well, actually it was a promo first, then it was a match, but it led into the match. So Becky Lynch came out, Women's Intercontinental Champ. Becky came out. Got a bunch of her stuff she said too. She came out. She said, "We've entered a new era." She thinks she's Triple H over here. We entered a new era of how much history is made at WrestleMania this year. She finally got rid of the once and for all loser AJ Lee and her terrible title reign. This is Becky's words, not mine. She became the first. This is actually very interesting. I actually forgot she said this in the promo. This is actually an interesting fun fact. She said, she said she became the first star in history to win 4 different titles at Mania. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
First wrestler that wins 4 different belts at Mania, and she's also the first ever 3-time Women's Intercontinental Champion, because no one's won 3 times yet. Or 2 times, so she's the first to do that as well. I forgot she said this, I'm sorry. She's won more Mania matches than any other woman. She's coming for Taker's record, she says.
Careful.
That's what I was laughing at.
Taker. Careful, Taker.
The man's coming for you.
Your career.
Careful, Taker. The man's coming around for you.
Yeah.
She's coming for Taker's record, she says. He's the greatest ever, and it's not just her saying it, but the best part wasn't winning the match. It was looking in the crowd and seeing her baby girl, her daughter, in the front row. And she walked to the ramp with her, and she realized she needed to show her what a real champion is. She says it's not about the 5-star hotels or private jets. It's not about performing in front of the huge crowds. It's about showing up in run-down, dirty towns like here tonight in Laredo, Texas. And she's showing out for common folk like everyone in the crowd. So basically, she was having a promo, basically talking about she's basically being fake babyface, being like, "Oh, it was great seeing my daughter cheer me on," and stuff. But she was trying to troll everyone. Pretty much acting like a face. Then she was like, "But now I'm here in this dumb town." So she was basically trolling everyone, being like, "Psych, I'm still a heel." Basically what it was. And she said she knows we want her to be a fighting champion to defend the belt against the best of the best. We want new, shiny, and exciting. So she stands before us as the man of the people, and she issues an open challenge to whoever wants to come out and have her look them in the eyes and say, "Welcome to the big time. Let's throw some hands."
Yeah.
Basically, she was offering an open challenge to defend the belt, and Io Sky answered. Io Sky came out. And then Io grabbed the mic, and Becky laughed and says, she wanted the best of the best, and new and shiny and exciting. And Io Sky is none of those things, she says. And the crowd boos and starts chanting Io. And then Becky accepts the challenge, and she says, apparently she's saying, "All right, I'll beat this loser." And Io slaps her in the face. Then Adam Pearce comes out, the Raw GM. And then he says, "It's official. This open challenge title match is happening right now." Before I get to the match, do you want to say anything about the promo?
No.
Okay. It was fun. It was a heel Becky promo. She's just very entertaining and cocky, and it's fun. I'm a big fan of this current gimmick she has. I find her very entertaining. Her cockiness is very funny. She's very entertaining.
Oh yeah.
So now the match right after the Pierce comes out makes it official. It's after the commercial break. It's next. Here we go. The match. So Becky Lynch is defending the title. It's open challenge, and she's fighting Io. Open challenge match. And it was a pretty fun match. Becky and Io have good chemistry together. I enjoyed it. It was a pretty good match. It was fun. It went for a while. It was just a good match, until the end. That's my point. It was a good match till the end. Well, I shouldn't say it wasn't. It was good till the end. It was still a good match throughout. I'm saying toward the end, Asuka came out. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and she attacked
Io.
Yeah.
So even though Kairi Sane got released, Io and Asuka are still feuding. So Asuka attacked Io behind the ref. What?
Honestly, during that beatdown, they were chanting for her.
Yeah, they were chanting "We Want Kairi," which is like a hashtag on Twitter currently trending, just like it was just like the "We Want Truth" one. It's "We Want Truth" all over again.
We want Kairi. We want Kairi.
Are they actually gonna bring it back? So they actually announced after this match they are doing Io versus Asuka Backlash. They actually officially confirmed it for the card. So I wonder. Remember last year when they brought Truth back in that Cena match at Crown Jewel? I'm wondering if they're gonna do the same thing here. Maybe at Backlash during the Io Asuka match, Kairi comes out during the match. and maybe they bring her back during the match.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna do the same thing and have her return during that match? It's possible. If she gets enough fan support, they could rehire her and she could return during that match. Could you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
No, I'm saying, could you see her return that match at Backlash, like and pull a R-Truth?
Oh, yeah.
I can see that.
And she tagged someone else.
Yeah. She'll probably attack Asuka and officially, like, finally break away from her.
Yeah, put away from her clutches.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so because Asuka attacked Io behind the rest back, it kind of distracted Io, and that gave Becky the win. She retained the belt. She retained that title. Still champ. Her first defense in this reign, in the third reign, her first defense successful. She retains. After the match, Asuka puts Io in her submission, the Asuka lock, and Io taps, which I kind of didn't like, honestly. That made her look a little weak to me. I didn't like that they made her tap out.
Yeah.
In the submission. I was not a fan of that. Because it made Asuka, not Asuka, it made Io look a little weak to me. She tapped out. And it wasn't even a match, it was just a beatdown. Whatever. And then that's when they started chanting "We Want Kyrie" during that. While he was tapping to Asuka, that's when they started chanting it. Because I think the crowd wanted Kyrie to come out and save her, and save Io. Before they were chanting for Kyrie. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I don't know what you want to say about it, if you have anything.
No, not really.
Okay. Oh yeah, the Usos were backstage being interviewed next by Byron Saxton, the interviewer. Usos were getting interviewed, and they basically say Roman will make his decision when he's ready to make his decision. And then LA Knight rolls up, yeah.
Yeah.
And he asks if they're sitting at the table again, like the head of the table. And he's the one to tear them down, but reminds them who they are. He basically hypes them up, like he's like, main event Jey Uso, former World Heavyweight Champion. He got there by his own, and Big Jimmy Uso has the potential to do the same. And he basically was saying, you guys don't need Roman, go on your own. And Jay was like, stay in your lane. And Jimmy says, this is family business, Uso. You don't belong here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's going back to his old role.
True.
Remember, he was trying to fit LA Knight. Because when LA Knight started talking about Roman, he got all offensive about it.
He did, yeah.
So, hey, you going back to the old ways, buddy?
He probably, yeah, he is.
Or maybe you want to be Chubby Cheese.
Perhaps.
Hey, I'm saying.
Yeah. And then pretty much LNA was like, the power, he says power eventually corrupts, and when it does, it becomes his business. And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. Then went to commercial break.
Yeah.
So LNA's trying to free them from Roman's clutches, but it's not working.
Yeah, no, Roman.
Yeah. Then back to commercial, we have probably your favorite thing on the show, Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in the ring. He has one with conference. He's been doing this thing for a while. He had conference in NXT. He's had them when he was in TNA. He's had this thing for a while. He actually makes his own music in real life. Like this isn't just a character. He actually is a real life musician too. He makes his own music and everything. It's pretty cool.
Alright, where is he? What's
Elias.
his name? Yeah, Elias. What, is he want to be Elias now?
Elias is actually in TNA now. He's Elijah now. He's in TNA currently.
What? Is he the older brother of his?
The guy on he's Ezekiel. He's the new Ezekiel. Elias' younger brother.
Hey, I didn't see much of you, but
this time it was not that serious. Like I've been telling you off air, he actually, as a league, he was a little more serious in NXT, but like toward the end of his run there. But this time he really wasn't. He was kind of his old self.
So yeah, you're not proving your point.
This time he was not serious. He was in NXT for a bit. This time he was not.
Or he was never serious.
Oh, he was. With the Tony D'Angelo feud he had, he was.
I don't know about that.
So he goes right into his song. I ain't write down every lyric like a weirdo, but I do have like the gist of it. He pretty much goes just talking about how he wins titles everywhere he goes. He's been at WrestleMania when he had that match with Randy Orton, and he was like many other shows. But now the time has come to pick one brand, and he's on Raw. So he basically he pretty much confirmed in his lyrics that he's officially called up to Raw now. He's no longer on NXT.
Yeah.
He's officially called up to Raw. He confirmed in his song that he's officially a Raw star now. And then he also asked Adam Pearce to fire Logan Paul for him.
Yeah.
And then right as he starts saying that, right on cue, Logan Paul comes out with Austin Theory, currently the tag champ in the division. And Logan basically is just screaming like a psychopath, saying how he can't be fired because he's Logan. And he says the crowd's awful, just like the song is. And he heard Joe's first night on Raw. Congrats, it's also his last. And then Austin Theory gets a mic and says he thinks Joe isn't seeing things right because they're the greatest tag champions of the universe. Don't know about that, Austin. Don't know about that one, Theory.
Yeah, hold up. You ain't the greatest tag team of all time.
Yeah, calm down there, Austin Theory.
Yeah, you know Jeff Hardy, all right.
Yeah.
That man and the Hardy Boys are more better than you. All right, calm down.
Yeah. And Joe Hendry says, "You guys aren't winners." He says, "I saw WrestleMania and all I saw was a couple of primetime losers." And Logan Paul and Austin Theory basically dismantle the concert set and destroy everything. And then they're like, "This ring belongs to the division. So these cameras, so is this Matt, so is everybody here. You belong to the division." And Joe's in a lucky spot because they're gonna go through his ass, whatever that means. And then pretty much they start beating up Joe, and that damn numbers game happens. He gets outnumbered by the two of them, 1-on-2. And they start beating him up until the Street Profits. I just bossed their name. I'll probably cut that part out. The Street Profits make the saves. They run out and they help Joe Hendry attack them out of the ring and save them.
Yeah, because they want the smoke.
Yeah, the Street Profits want the tag title. They kind of set this up last week. It's probably going to be a Backlash title match. That's my guess for where this is going. Taking title match to Backlash. Should be fun when it happens. At least we got a tag team challenger because Raw needs tag teams. Their division is very small. They need something for these tag titles. The tag team division always needs help. There's not a lot of tag teams in this company.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. Then when this next thing, when this first happened, I was like, really? This is what the best you got for this man? But then the post promo was good. Grayson Waller was in the back of Adam Pearce, and Grayson Waller was pretty much saying he wants to fight the best of the best. Obafemi walks up and is like, "All right, I'm the best of the best. Fight me." When I first saw it, I was like, so we had this guy retire, Brock Lesnar, and the best you got for him is Grayson Waller. Are you kidding me? Oba's gonna squash this man in like 30 seconds. That was my first thought when I saw this. But then after the match, Oba had a really good promo, and I was like, all right, this wasn't too bad actually. I'll get to that though. But that's not yet. The match isn't yet. This backstage thing happened just now. So yeah, Pearce told Grayson Waller, "Get your gear on, it's official." And that happened. Then backstage, Joe Hendry and the Street Profits are talking. Joe thanks them for helping him out. And then as Joe leaves, Seth Rollins shows up and he says he wants to talk about last week. What the Profits say last week wasn't about him. It was about the tag titles. And yeah. That's like, all right then. Actually, it. All right, here we go. Next match. Rey Mysterio, the WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. Can't forget that. Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio is versing the second Americano, Ludwig Kaiser Americano. It's a pretty fun match. Lucha versus Lucha. Very fun stuff. It's, Rey Mysterio, I don't know how this man is still so good for his age. I think he's like 50. I don't know how he's still going this hard in matches. You know what? We're looking at right now in the air. I want to see how old Rey is, so I'm actually very curious. I'm not going to cut it out because it'll take me like 5 seconds to Google it. But, he's 51 years old. How is this man so good for his age?
Well, Well, the man's been doing it for how long?
It's crazy. Like, Randy Orton's still doing great at his age, the Miz is, like, these guys have been here for so long, they're still really good. It's crazy. But the match was fun. It was good stuff. Not really much to say because it was just like a match, but it was fun. Oh wait, actually, I forgot. There was one thing at the end. My bad. Toward the end of the match, the original Americano, Chad Gable, comes out to stop the new Americano because he was trying to use like a steel plate to cheat, a metal plate.
Yeah.
So the original Americano stopped the new Americano and they took the plate away, and then Ray 1+619. Rey Mysterio won the match. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and wait, one more thing. Then after Ray leaves, after celebrating his win, the two Americanos start brawling. It was a security pull-apart brawl. And then they show at the bottom, conveniently right at that moment, that hey, AAA show, there's a match happening soon. So this was pretty much promoting that match. They were building it up on Raw pretty much, the brawl. They're just hyping it up some more. That was fun. The brawl was fun. What are your thoughts on it? If you have any?
That was good.
The brawl was fun. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This is where they announced the two Backlash matches. They officially confirmed on the show. We're getting Seth versus Bron, Io versus Asuka. Both confirmed for Backlash. They announced it right here. Then Asuka has a backstage pre-tape promo about Io, and she's saying how she's disappointed because she says Io's an ungrateful, selfish failure, and she spared her until now because she thought they could be family, but since Io shut that down, nothing will stop her from destroying her. At Backlash will teach her one final lesson. Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
And next match now. Okay, here we go. Next match. The match was really quick. This was more about the promo after the match than the actual. It was more about that than the actual match itself. The match went quick. It was really about the promo at the end.
Yeah.
So Obafemi versus Grayson Waller happens. Obafemi, I love his entrance. His theme song. It's not my favorite theme song currently. It's my favorite entrance currently though. His entrance is currently my favorite entrance in the company. Like out of all the entrances currently in the company, Obafemi has my favorite entrance right now in the whole company. I love the aura on his entrance, the smoke, the green lights, the theme song. Like I love how like the theme song starts, just stops, everything goes to black. They give a couple seconds just for the fans to start chanting Oba, then bam, lights go on, green, smoke, and like I love the dramatic pause they give it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I love his entrance, and they better not have Rebel his theme song because his theme works for him great. I love his theme; it works great for his character.
Has only just begun.
Yeah. Oba, like I've been saying this for a while now, Oba is the next big star. The way they're pushing him, he's gonna be the next big star in this company.
Yeah.
This guy is gonna main event WrestleMania one day. Watch, he's just that good.
There's no telling what Waller can accomplish here.
So Grayson Waller has been booked like a loser, so there was no chance he was winning this. Obafemi destroyed him. Pretty much Oba beat him in like a minute. It was pretty much to get him a win. After the match, Oba grabs a mic in the promo. He says, the crowd's feeling good and he's feeling good. Grayson Waller isn't feeling so good, but nobody cares.
Yeah.
That's what he says. He literally says that in the promo. And then he says, there's no opportunity around here since all the big champions are locked in with their current challengers. And Trick Williams over on SmackDown doesn't want to do open challenges no more. So all the champions already have opponents. He can't challenge no one right now. But he has a solution to the problem. He says, as of today, the Obafemi Open Challenge will now commence. So to any man back there who wants to prove himself, step up. If you want to see how you fare at the top of the mountain, step up. But he won't take too kindly because he's unforgiving. If you're not stepping in the ring of anyone, you're stepping in the ring of the ruler, Obafemi. That's what he says. That was fun. What did you think of it?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, good stuff.
Oh my gosh!
The open challenges should be fun. I like if they're gonna be building up. They're gonna be racking him a bunch of wins. He's gonna go on like a winning streak. That's why I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
this could be the way they get, since he called out Roman on the Mania post show. This could be their way to build him up for Roman. He's gonna be racked up a winning streak. This is like how they can build him up to challenge him. Yeah. So, that was that. This next thing was honestly one of my favorite parts of the show because it was just very interesting. I'm curious where it goes. This is the Roxanne thing backstage. So in the back, Liv Morgan, Raquel, and Roxanne are like just getting ready. Well, Liv is helping to get ready because Roxanne and Raquel tag match against Bayley and Lyra next. But Liv says to Raquel, "Hey sister," I can't do her voice. "Sister, can you go to the ring? I want a second there for Roxanne alone." And then so Raquel's like, "Okay," and then she walked out. And then Liv said to Roxanne, she was like, she wanted to have the conversation they were gonna have before not Finn Balor. Sorry. Stephanie Vaquer. She wanted to have they originally wanted to have a conversation, you know, before Mania when Stephanie Vaquer smashed him into a TV and they bumped heads. I had to look at the big mushroom head she had, the lump on her head. The original conversation they were gonna have was about Finn, so now they're having it now. Liv Bisky said she apologized for the way things went down before because she's saying she knows that Finn Balor brought Roxanne into Judgment Day, which is true. Finn did bring her in as a new member. Liv said, you know, it wasn't easy watching Finn get drummed out at home. She was saying to Roxanne, I'm sure it wasn't easy watching Finn get beaten down from home. And Liv was saying because she understands it because she was also at home for a while when she was injured. And she was like, but they're family and they support each other. And Finn wasn't in Roxanne's corner, but don't worry, Liv Morgan will be. That's what she said. And Liv said, just like she'll be in her corner at ringside tonight, as Roxanne and Raquel get one step closer to getting tag team titles again. And then Roxanne asks for a second, you know, before heading out. She's like, all right, Liv, no, we're cool. Give me a second alone. And Liv walks out. Then Roxanne's just standing there alone. And then Finn Balor comes in and does one of those things where he's like, shh, don't tell them I'm in here. He does one of those things. And then Roxanne's like, Finn, you can't be here. They're gonna see you. And then Finn's like, he's wanted to come in here to warn her, but he says she can't trust Liv or anyone else in Judgment Day. And then Roxanne's like, maybe she can't. She asks if maybe she can't trust him. But maybe it's not them she can't trust. It's Finn she can't trust. And she says she's with Judgment Day, and she's got a master ready for her, and he needs to go before he gets hurt. And he wishes her good luck at the match and goes, all right, whatever. I try helping. Good luck. Hope you know what you're doing. And then he walks out. This felt, I don't know if this was just tonight because they were in her hometown, but Roxanne felt very babyface here. The way she was talking. Don't know if it was because it was her home, but the way she was talking, it felt very babyface to me. I think they're teasing something. Maybe down the line she gets kicked out.
Yeah.
And Finn was trying to warn her because, you know, I guess because they're still cool with each other since he brought her into the group. And Roxanne was pretty much just like, nah, I'm with my sisters. Sorry, Finn, I'm not with you no more. So it was very interesting. I enjoyed this quick. It was quick and like not major, but it was an interesting little detail of like, It was one of those things where I was like, I wonder where this is going. This is interesting.
Yeah.
More Judgment Day tension. I'm curious where it goes. Also, another thing I noticed was kind of weird. None of the male members of Judgment Day were on the show. There was no Dominic or JD. I found that odd. The only members of Judgment Day on the show were the females. All three of them.
Oh yeah, they could be taking a break.
Yeah, I guess. 3 females were on the show, but then the 2 males weren't. No JD McDonough, no Dominic Mysterio. I don't know. If JD, I get because Finn beat him last week. I get why JD took the week off, but I thought maybe Dominic could be here because he's always here with Liv. When Liv's here, he's here. He's always with Liv. So that's why I was surprised not to see him. I don't know. It's a little observation.
Yeah.
Anyway, next is their tag match. But do you want to say anything about that before I go to the tag match?
No.
Okay, here we go. Next match. So after that backstage thing, we lead right into the tag match. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Judgement Day's Roxanne, Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez, and then Liv Morgan's the ringside for Judgment Day. During this match, I was watching. I was like, "Wow, Roxanne's getting some huge babyface reactions here." They were chanting, "Let's go, Roxy!" You know, "We want Roxy, Roxy, Roxy!" Like all three of those chants were happening over and over on loop, and then Raquel gave Roxanne a big hot tag, and the crowd went nuts. I was like, wow, they were like cheering her like crazy. And I was like, what's going on here? Like, are they in her hometown or something? So I went to go Google it, and sure enough, they're in her hometown. She's from, if anyone who's watching from Texas, I'm sorry if I botched this name. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not from Texas. Layardo, Texas. I apologize. I'm not from there, so I don't know how to say it. Layardo, Texas. That's the town that they were in tonight, and that's also where she's from when I Googled it. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. She's basically the hometown hero tonight. That's why they were giving her such huge cheering babyface reactions. Because they love her. She's from here. But man, like, I watched her debut in NXT, so I've seen her whole career in WWE so far. And when she started in NXT, she was a babyface, and she was pretty good. I personally have enjoyed her more as a heel, but she showed in NXT in the past. She does do a really good babyface. She can pull off really well, so she's very likable as a babyface. Yeah. So if they are planning on turning her in the future, I think it could work. Yeah. She's very like NXT. She had like a very bubbly personality, like happy to be here. She was like this very happy, likable person as a babyface. She's pulled it off before. So just before I talk about the match, I just wanted to point that out. The reactions were fun. The crowd were going nuts for her. It was very fun to hear. It was nice to hear. And not only that, they even gave her the win and they gave her a hometown win because Roxanne and Raquel won, and they won because Roxanne pinned Bayley. So not only did they win, and they gave Roxanne a hometown win, she even got the pinfall. She pinned Bayley. Yeah. So it was pretty cool to see her get a hometown win. Or even bigger. And the fact she got a pin is like a cherry on top. And she pinned Bayley. It's a big star to pin too. She ain't just pinning some lower mid card no name. She's pinning Bayley, one of the horsewomen. That's crazy. It's a big deal. It's a pretty big deal. Yeah. So is there anything you want to say about it?
No, we can move on.
All right, here we go. So. Before we get to the main event, one quick thing. It's quick though. It's gonna take like less than a minute to explain. We got a nice little video package for Sol Ruca after she made her kind of like her Raw in-ring debut last week against Liv Morgan. Looked really good in there. Yeah. Some people complaining online like, oh, she got buried. She did not get buried. Yes, she lost her debut. She lost to the world champion. If she got buried, she would have lost to some no name on the card. She lost to the world champion. Her first match on the show was against the world champion. She'll be fine. Yeah. That's not a burial. She didn't just get squashed in 5 seconds. She had a really good match with her. She's not buried. She'll be fine. I think fans sometimes overuse the word bury and don't know what it means.
The OTC is here. He's Roman Reigns.
But anyway, my point was they showed a really cool video of her. Like it was kind of like her highlights of her from NXT. And then they announced that next week she'll be on Raw to officially sign her contract. So she her debut was last week. It's like she's gonna officially be a Raw star next week when she signs her contract. So that's gonna be fun. And after that, now we get the main event. Roman Reigns comes out, the World Heavyweight Champion, and he comes out and says, "Man, Texas loves their tribal chief, don't they?" He's being babyface, being nice to the crowd and stuff. And he says, "They make the world title, they made the world title in spite of him to take away his shine, but it never worked. You see his old saying, it's very true. The title doesn't make the man makes the title." And that's exactly what he's done with this strap. He put it in the main event night 2 Mania and made it relevant. And he says, now you can finally be proud of the title, you can respect the title, and now you can actually choose to acknowledge this title. As a matter of fact, let's demonstrate, and he does so by telling the crowd to acknowledge him, and they do. They cheer. And then, out comes the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Roman says, this is perfect timing, and he hopes Jacob used his week to make the right decision to unite their family and not divide it. And then Jacob says, he and me a week, he and me a day. Hell, he didn't need an hour to think about it. He knows exactly what you wanted when he came out here last week. He didn't stutter. He didn't hesitate when he said he didn't want but rather needed the title. He meant that. And then he says, but Roman must be too stuck in his main event bubble, stuck in tribal chief land. He didn't grind like Jacob Fatu did. 12 years of hard work, grinding, suffering, not knowing what the next meal was going to be. When Roman was up here running the bloodline, he was foaming at the mouth on the front line, trying to figure out if he was going to get there. And then he says, "It's not how you start, it's how you finish." And it got him standing here right in front of Roman's ass. And he says, for years, Roman didn't call him near the Jimmy, but Solo Sikoa did. And Solo was the one who gave him a chance to be here. And Roman's like, Solo? Just like that, he's like, Solo? He's completely confused. He says Jacob's completely confused or dumber than he thinks because Solo couldn't get a cup of coffee delivered here if he wanted to. Take a look around. Who do you think runs this place? And the crowd starts chanting OTC, OTC. And Roman's like, this crowd ain't lying. He's gotten distracted. Things got hectic and he hasn't forgotten about Jacob, but he's the one who signed off on his ass. And then he says, he sounds like a fool. He doesn't deserve it. He hasn't earned it. And basically, as he's saying all this, that Jacob, this is telling Jacob, you're not ready, you haven't earned it. As he's saying that, out of nowhere, this is cool. Jacob grabs Roman by the throat, starts choking him out with like a death grip. It was crazy. Chokes him to the ground, just yelling in his face, and Roman gets away, but Jacob grabs him back and chokes him out again. And he's just yelling in his face, "I'm gonna take everything from you." And he leaves Roman gasping for air, clutching his throat. And then Roman like he talks, but like you can hear the strain in his voice when he's trying to talk. He actually got choked out bad. Like he was having trouble speaking. It was crazy. After Jacob starts walking off, leaving, Roman, while still like clutching his throat on the ground, starts talking. He's like, he shouts at Jacob, saying, "If you want him at Backlash, he'll see him at Backlash. Get ready." And then as he says that, Jacob's walking out the ramp, telling the camera he's not waiting for Backlash. He'll see Roman's. He says, "I'll see Roman's punk ass next Monday." Yeah. And that was the whole thing. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Honestly, Roman, you finally met your opponent. You finally meeting the person who can take you out.
Yeah, this was awesome. Let me take a look at this one. This is really good.
You might say, acknowledge me, Jacob. I acknowledge you.
Yeah. I'm glad they're not making Roman stand tall like every week. I'm glad they're actually making his opponents look strong.
Oh yeah. Honestly, Jacob needs it.
Yeah.
Actually no. Jacob don't need. He deserves it.
I'm so glad Roman's here full time during his reign, because if he wasn't here every week, like Jacob carrying his feet alone, it would be good, but it'd be really hard just him cutting promos by himself. So happy we're having full time Roman for this reign.
Honestly, I thought you Usos were gonna come out.
I thought so too. I thought they were gonna get involved in the attack. That's what I thought. I'm surprised they weren't.
Yeah.
Involved.
I genuinely thought first when he was choking him, I thought, the Usos gonna come out and save his job, their tribal chief.
That's what I thought. I was waiting for him to come out. I was expecting it, but it never happened.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. Like, I even said that out loud to myself when the show ended. I was like, no Usos. That's weird. I was very surprised. But nonetheless, it was still really good. Really good stuff. I'm excited for this match. And I guess this match is kind of official now too, along with the Seth, Bron, Io, Asuka. I guess this one's kind of official now too, because like we're almost dead. I'll see you at Backlash. So this will probably be the main event of the show. This is probably gonna be because the world titles. This is probably gonna be the Backlash main event, and I can't wait. Very excited for this. This Backlash card, man, looks really good. I'm actually really excited for Backlash. The card is getting me hyped. There's some really good looking matches on this card. Very excited. I'm looking forward to this show. The build's been really good for the show too. Dare I say, is Backlash going to be better than Night 1 of WrestleMania? It might be. Backlash might honestly be better than WrestleMania Night 1. That's the way the card's looking. I'm actually very excited. But that was pretty much it. I know they said for SmackDown review, like we can kind of like end it with like news, but there's not really any news this time that I could talk, like any major breaking news. Because I guess all the news tonight is about everything that was said on Raw.
Yeah.
Actually, there's one thing. Wait, I just found something. I was trying to Google stuff to see if there's anything going on. But I guess two things, kind of. So, I guess we can bring this up quick. It's two quick stories. One of them is, I actually mentioned it earlier, but we want R-Truth like hashtag to happen back when you get released. That's not happening with Kyrie, apparently. So, there's actually a trending hashtag on Twitter, and it's like hashtag we want Kyrie, so like they might bring her back.
Yeah.
Another thing, apparently, is... Huh?
No, you actually said it before.
Yeah. But there is another thing I didn't mention before. It's actually more stuff about Aleister Black. Apparently, I saw the story earlier. Apparently, someone from AEW said they don't want Aleister Black back there. It's Sean Dean. He's a Ring of Honor talent. I don't know much about him, Sean Dean. I don't know much about him, but he that's his name, Sean Dean. He's a wrestler. He's a Ring of Honor guy. He hasn't really been at AEW that much, but he came out because someone on Twitter was like, I wonder if Aleister... Someone said on Twitter, like a fan apparently, the one on Twitter, and was like, if Malachi Black goes back to AEW and brings Zelina Vega in, the House of Black can be back together. With Zelina as a female member or something, and like, it would be really a new version of the fashion, kind of. And Sean Dean responds to the fan, just writes, no, we don't want him back. Don't know what that's about. I guess you don't like Aleister Black.
Yeah.
And the other thing, it's actually about Triple H. This is the last story. This is the last thing I see. This is the last story.
All right.
Apparently, the TKO CEO, Ari Emanuel, actually confirmed this today in like an interview or something. But people who thought made Triple H is getting fired soon, not for a while, it seems, because Ari Emanuel actually said today, Triple H recently signed a new deal for 3 more years, being the head of creative for another 3 years. Because the bro ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he has control still. They can still secretly be working behind the scenes, overthrowing his control.
Yeah.
So that doesn't change anything. He can still have control also. They're just saying he's head of creative to make people happy. But they say he's gonna be here for another 3 years. He's recently signed a new deal. That's all I got. I was like, it's kind of a slow news night. Those are like the only stories I could find right now.
All right. Let's end
we got something. Like I said I wanted to talk about at least one news thing at each episode, and we got three. We got small ones, but there was 3 different ones. So we got something. So it was nice.
All right. Let's end it.
All right. I didn't think of an outro. I want to have an intro. You know what? I got one. All right. Thanks for listening to the Raw review. I'll be back tomorrow going solo for my NXT review, and we'll be back together on Friday for our SmackDown one.
Yeah.
I may start doing AEW this week too. So stay tuned. You might see a Dynamite review pop in your feed because I might start Dynamite this week. But I'm going to be doing that alone too. So that's the schedule for the week. Next episode, me alone with NXT, possibly me for Dynamite alone again after that, and then we'll be back together again on Friday for SmackDown.
Well, I'm going to see you guys on SmackDown.
Yeah, I think it's the after I thought of. So until next time, acknowledge us.